Hi, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. Today, my guest is Rockland Road, a family band from Nashville featuring 6 musicians who share the same last name, Martin. Rockland Road represents 4 generations of musical heritage. They're all vocalists and play 23 different instruments. Paul and Jamie Martin began singing together in 2010 with their 4 children, March, Kel, Texas, and Talent. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
You're such a lovely family. This is going to be so much fun today. I'm so excited to have you on my show. But I'd like for everyone to know, Paul and Jamie, it really all began with you and your love for music and your ties to the famous Oak Ridge Boys. Tell me how it all started.
You want me to talk about it? I'm Jamie, and Paul and I started dating, years ago. Actually, he was the lead singer, lead guitarist for a pop country group called Exile, and they actually were contemporaries of my dad, Dwayne Allen, with the Oak Ridge Boys. My dad is Dwayne Allen, the lead singer of the Oak Ridge Boys. He's been there since 1966, if you can believe that. So, Exile and the Oaks would do shows together, and somewhere along the way, we bumped into each other and struck up a great friendship, started dating, and that music ran through our relationship the whole time. We always loved to sing together. Paul had a recording studio. We'd always record together. And as we started having kids, there's just instruments all over the house. There was open access to singing and playing. We always played music and, just let them pick around on drums, guitars, pianos, whatever was sitting around. And we always prayed they would not be tone deaf. We wanted them to have the love of music like we had. And so, it just sort of naturally evolved. It's just kind of... So one day we were sitting on the couch. Paul and I were playing a song. He was playing Wishing You Were Here by Chicago. I was singing harmony with him. And March came walking through the room and added a third harmony, or a third part, Yeah. And we were like, whoa, oh, you can hear that harmony. Come here, sing with us. And then we started picking around with all of them. Kel, can you hear this harmony? He could hear it, Then soon enough, we realized the girls heard harmony too. And, that's just, wow, that's fun because then now we can hey, let's see if we can learn this song. And, we just started kind of putting songs together and teaching each of them a different part to sing. And next thing you know, we're like, we need to try this out on somebody. So we go over to my parents' house,
Always good to check with the parents and grandparents.
and people that sing harmony for a living. And
about your mom. Tell her about
Well, my mom was a background vocalist, one of the backup singers at the Grand Ole Opry. She was there for 40 years. She's now retired. We sang our songs for them and learn some more. Oh, this is fun. And, we just started singing little places here and there, and it has just grown, as they have grown. All 4 of them have very distinct styles, very distinct abilities. They write. They all play instruments, some multiple instruments, and it's just blossomed. Some things we all learn and sing together. Some things they just record, put everything on themselves. So it's neat. It's
a beautiful musical love story.
That's right.
Another thing to point out, during this last 12 years, at the time we started doing this, I was playing with a fellow named Marty Stewart and this Fabulous Superlatives. And so we did 6 seasons of a TV show. All the kids made an appearance or multiple appearances on that show. Marty played a big role in inspiring the kids too. And so in 2014, we just started looking at this and going, why should we wait till they're like 30 years old and go, why didn't we do this? So I called Marty and said, Marty, I'm certainly not mad, but I just want to go do this with my family. I really want to go travel. If I'm going to travel, I'd rather travel with the people I love the most.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful that you can all work together and be together as a family. Well, before we get any deeper into this conversation, I do want to let folks know why you chose the name Rockland Road.
All right. Who
wants to share that?
Well, originally we were called Martin Family Circus, which was just a joke that Vince Gill did one night at the Grand Ole Opry. I was out there playing. Of course, Jamie's mom's out there. It's like family. They wanted to see the new baby talent. So Jamie had worked for, I'd known Vince since the Exile days, but she'd worked for his management company right before we started our family. So he came up to her that night. She was holding talent. He goes, what's going on, girl? And she goes, baby number 4, Vince. She goes, well, you guys are just a regular Martin Family Circus. Started calling us that. So when we started singing originally, we went with the name because it pretty much described our life.
And everybody that we knew they'd all show up and be like, "Oh, hey, man, the circus is in town." You know, it kind of seemed to stick.
Yeah, but after a while, we actually went under that name for about 8 years.
Oh, okay.
And it fit. We played a lot of shows, with that name, and it was fine. But as the kids started getting older, they were very serious musicians, and we were really trying to really be a real band. But we would show up at a state fair to play, on the stage, and we would be pulling in with all our equipment, all our gear, and like, "Hey, we're Martin Family Circus. We're here to set up." And they would be like, "Oh, the animal entrance is that way." And they thought we were like a circus. No, and it kind of got pretty funny after a while, and we wanted them to take the kids seriously and not be just novelty. So we started thinking about, they're growing up, and we had some new recordings we were doing. It's time to change the name. So the name Rockland Road actually came from a street here in our hometown. When I was growing up, my parents built a studio there on Rockland Road. It actually started in our home.
That's in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Yes, Hendersonville, Tennessee. We're like a suburb of Nashville. And, they were all in the music industry, and they were recording everywhere. We had a studio in our home, which was getting crazy with my brother and I growing up and making noise in the house. So my parents bought a building on Rockland Road and turned it into a studio and a publishing company. And that grew and grew and grew. And eventually, the Oak Ridge Boys started having commercial success in country music, and they needed a larger place for their office and their studio, so it became their headquarters. So for many years during the Elvira days, and that was wild. I mean, that was a big busy time of world tours and all that, and that's where they were based. And the studio recorded so many artists from so many genres, from gospel and local artists. Bruce Hornsby is recorded there. Of course, Ricky Skaggs, the Oaks did lots of their stuff there. I mean, you could sit and just come up with a laundry list of people that have recorded at that studio from all genres and all walks of life, and just a blur of activity. Well, they ended up selling that studio to Ricky Skaggs, and he still has it, and it's operating in the same spot. So it's real special to us. And we
have some videos on YouTube with the singles we've released where we'll do a full performance or a full video. But if you find the acoustic versions, they're in that studio.
Yeah.
Wow.
The magic got started down on Rockland Road, and that meant something to us. So that's where the name came from.
Well, the magic continues.
There you go.
How would you describe your music? To me, it appeals to anyone that loves music.
Yeah, I would say we definitely, literally, like, we joke about this with everyone. I feel like all of our friends are like, "Oh, I only listen to country music, I only listen to pop music." They're very like, they like their type of music. All of us have grown up around such diverse, literally every single type of genre you could think of. And we love every type of music. As long as it's a good song, hey, I'll listen to it, you know what I mean? So it's, with us, I would say we go under the genre like country pop, basically, but we do R&B. It's like country pop R&B, basically. But we do everything. We'll do rock, we'll do pop.
Whoever's out there is going to go away going, "I love their music," because it has all of those genres mixed in. Do you have a favorite that you like to sing? Like, do you like country better or R&B, or do you just like the mix? I mean, do each of you have your own little, I really like rock and roll, or I'm a country girl, or?
It really just depends. Now, when it comes to listening to music, I have my own type that I like.
Right,
but when it comes to singing,
Okay.
I'd say I love singing pretty much any of it. It's not like there's a specific song that I like singing more than others. It's really just because it's different voices go for different songs, so it's really fun to kind of test the waters and see which one my voice would match better.
That's good.
And I think we probably just put our own stamp on whatever genre we're singing, because once we all add our voices in, they kind of just fit together like a puzzle piece. We always say, family harmony just tends to breathe, when it all locks in. So I guess no matter what genre we're singing, we all have a love for multiple types, but we make it sound like our own sound.
And that is a perfect little segue into, you guys said you would share a little music with my audience. So why don't we do that now, and then we'll continue with some more questions.
Mama, can you tell them about kind of the story of how this song came to be?
Yeah, we're always looking for good music to record. Like I said, they all write, Paul writes, but we live in Music City. there are fabulous songwriters by the dozens here, and that's all they do. Their craft is writing songs. And so we have a lot of really great relationships with wonderful songwriters. One in particular, but this song came from a man named Marcus Hummon, and it got played for us early on when we were getting ready to go in the studio and record. And it was one of the first ones we latched onto. Like, oh my gosh, we love the harmonies, and it just seems so, inspiring. Music should make you feel good, and it should inspire you. And that's what this song felt like for us. It felt like it was written specifically for us, even though it wasn't. So we just tried to go in there and make it our own. And it's all about having hope in troubled times. And we felt like, how fitting is that right now? It seemed to just speak to what a lot of people are feeling right now. So it's called Mountains Up Ahead. There's a chorus of it.
Keep the mountains up ahead. Keep close to the river and turn where the river bends. Leave all your valleys in the rearview mirror. The dust will rise and they will disappear, and you are not lost. You are not lost. You're just making your way.
Cold chills. That was so good. My goodness, you guys you're like heaven just opened up and poured out sugar and sweetness and just beautiful voices like angels.
We feel like music should make you smile, and when you come to see us play live, we want you to leave feeling a little bit better than when you first got there. So music just inspires us, and it's fun for us. So we like to pass that along.
Well, you just passed it to me, sister. Thank you so much. I feel it. I feel it. Hey, listen, that being said, this is why you have had the opportunity to play the national anthem, major sporting events, White House. I mean, talk about the list of really incredible venues that you've had the privilege to be a part of and share your talents with. That has to be pretty exciting.
Absolutely. The White House story in particular was really crazy because the weeks leading up to the gig, we had to talk with all the people that had to obviously run security checks on everybody, which I've never had to do that for a gig before. That was kind of interesting.
I'm sure.
Well, then too, so when we pulled up to everything you do in Washington, D.C. seems like you're up to no good. Like,
Central. They don't call it the swamp for nothing. No.
Yeah, we pulled up to the front gate. There's like a little walking trail right by the south lawn. Well, we pulled right up to a gate in our bus, and we got off and we're like, hey, we'd like to go up to the White House. It's like, and like
knock, knocking on the door.
So the Secret Service guys, they were all really cool. They were like, okay, yeah, cool. You're the family, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Come on in here, but stop right here. And what they had us do was we had to unload all of our gear onto trucks that then took our gear up to another gate where they had to scan it all and
look in every box.
And they had to look through everything. And it was one of those things where I think there was a comedian who talked about like when you're going through the airport security and they're asking you if you have anything bad on you, and it's like, I don't think so, but what if I forgot and accidentally? But what if I accidentally
sweating? Yeah.
Exactly. But then anyway, so once you get inside the gate, it was a wonderful gig. I mean, they had a really nice stage. They had catering tents. It
was actually really chill too. Like it was really calm event. It was really peaceful.
Very early.
And yeah, that's probably why it was so chill, because we had to get up at like 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, the whole thing felt like a dream because they had us arrive at the grounds at 6 a.m. and we sound checked. We played our music, and of course, my dad tells a story about how he was sitting there at one point during well, I guess it's your story. You go ahead and tell it. Yeah.
One of the songs we used to do at that time was I'm playing acoustic guitar, Texas singing. We're all singing this song. It's just this kind of gospel song called "Mary Don't You Weep." And as I'm playing the song, I'm just kind of taking in the the whole affair, and boy, I can't believe we're standing on the south lawn of the White House with my family. Saying, where am I at in this song? It's like got caught up in the moment.
Well, I think the thing that was the weirdest part too, or not necessarily weird, but just crazy, is I'm standing there playing and I'm looking around and you see all these Congress people like. So-and-so standing with the Easter Bunny, and it's like Easter egg painting with, such and such senator over here, and this person over here from the Congress person over here is doing, the Easter egg hunt and stuff. This is weird. This feels like a dream. This is like a
Very surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was Easter time when you were there, and do you mind sharing the year and which president was in office?
2017.
So it was during Trump's presidency.
Okay, sure.
His first year
It was
there.
really bizarre.
Okay.
I had met a lady when I was with Marty who she kind of organizes a lot of stuff in D.C., and she had reached out to me and said, Paul, would your family be interested in doing the Easter egg roll? And I said, oh, that would be so cool. What a great experience,
Yeah.
We submitted our EPK, and the production company called me and said, now it's up to the First Lady. So we waited like 2 or 3 weeks and I guess it's not going to happen. And then one day we were out coming back from a gig in Indianapolis or something like that, and we were coming back home, and Jamie gets an email on her phone, goes,
They
First
chose
Lady
us.
It chose us. So
it was a really big honor.
Yeah.
It was great to watch the kids, doing cartwheels on
Yeah.
the beautiful
Yeah.
South Lawn, and then just run. I'm like, this is really, it is very much like a dream, just like Mark said. That was a cool experience.
Well, that is a memorable experience. Would you describe that as your most memorable, or is there another experience you'd like to share that's one of your most memorable?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
we got
yeah.
to
Yeah,
do-
tell me.
I don't remember. Do you remember what year it was when we did the NBA playoffs? When we sang
Yeah,
the
that was
anthem?
like
That's like
years ago.
2018.
I remember,
2018.
so in 2018, I remember we sang the anthem for the NBA playoffs, and it was the Chicago Bulls, right? And
No,
then
it was
No,
No,
the
it's
Cleveland
not.
Cavaliers.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay.
Do not
In her
listen to-
defense, we have sung the national anthem many times.
A lot of
I know. That's why I said, could you remember?
They
Yes.
probably can't remember the teams at the time.
Yeah, but I don't remember the team. I remember there was definitely the Pacers, right? Because we were
Pacers
doing that.
and the Cavaliers were in the playoffs.
Yes, that was it.
Okay.
All the sports fans are like cringing right now.
It's fine.
But anyway, I remember, so on, like, we were about to go sing, and like we're standing there. They're like, we're like where the
In the wings.
yeah, in the wings where the basketball players like walk in, like they run in onto the
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
We were standing there just like waiting to go up, about to like grab our mics and go sing, and like all of a sudden I look to my right, and LeBron James is just standing right there. He was just like. He was just standing there.
Yeah.
Here we go. High five me.
Man
You
is
couldn't
probably,
reach it.
No, he's so incredibly
High
tall.
five me.
Matter of fact, I remember one of you girls, might have been Talent, was talking to Paul, going, yeah, so when we get done, if we can go, oh my goodness, that's LeBron James. I mean, like, she had to look up this tall to watch him walk by. Like, he
But they're
was
so bigger than life when you see them.
Yeah.
That was
It's
fun.
always neat when we finish the anthem. The players and everybody always comes up to us, and it's a very neat moment for our family. And then one I remember the first time we ever did this.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Probably the most memorable anthem experience was the very first time that we ever sang an anthem in public was for a sold-out crowd at the Indiana Pacers game
Chicago Bulls. That
in
was
Chicago Bulls
That was
Yeah.
Pressure was on.
for 19,000.
You're like, oh, it's
We
like
had never worked it up an arrangement. And I was hoping, hey Jamie, why don't you call your high school? Let's go do a test run. We didn't get time, and we went and did it at the arena. We did a sound check that day, and then when we actually did it, March and I shared a microphone, and they walked out there. The kids were calm. I mean, they got out there and
No problem.
sang the song. And when we
Maybe
got
not
done,
on
and we
the
were walking
inside.
off the court. March looked at me and said, "Dad, your hand was shaking." I said, "You think?"
Because we all didn't think about. I didn't
Yeah.
really understand the gravity, I guess, of of singing to 19,000 people. Because I was just like, okay, whatever, we'll just go sing. And my dad is holding the microphone up to my face, going, Yeah, right.
But
Yeah, right.
I think also something that makes it even more nerve-wracking than, like, if we were just singing, like, a regular, like, just a normal song that's not, like, it doesn't have any, like, history to it. The thing about the anthem is that you cannot get those lyrics wrong. You can't mess up. That is what makes it makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna mess up.
We don't want to end up on a compilation.
Yeah.
End up on the blooper reel, because so many people have sung the national anthem and that one high note that's a tough one. And have forgotten the words. I would be nervous about that too. But y'all nailed it every time.
I think it just kind of becomes, they say muscle memory. Or
Yes.
So many times you just kind of, you get to that zone and you lock it in. And just
What's funny is the kids, I think all four of the kids either have perfect pitch or relative pitch, because when we walk to the floor, we do it in the key of G, and somebody's like, where's our...
It's right here.
Well,
Sometimes I'll say it's on a piano somewhere.
Yeah, it's on piano.
Yeah. That's great. Well, listen, talk about your most recent songs and upcoming tour plans. I mean, you're always on the go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the three songs that we have out currently at the moment, we've got 3 singles out that we actually recorded a little while back. We the first one that we ever released was a song called Caroline, and that was actually, it was a really interesting story how it came our way, because 3 people independent of each other sent us that song and suggested that we record it.
There's your sign.
It started when we decided we were going to change our name to Rockland Road. We were like, well, we should probably have some new music to go with it, so people won't be like, okay, you changed your name, so what? So we went, and on the hunt for songs, we started calling up our songwriter friends and talking to our song plugger friends downtown, and publishers and whatnot. Well, my grandfather, Dwayne Allen with the Oak Ridge Boys, he is the song king. He is always, ever since I was a little kid, he's always been like, now son, you need to grow up and find your 3 minutes of magic right there.
They used to call him tin bags because he would carry around to hotel rooms just like 10 big bags of cassette tapes
Or CDs.
with
Or
CDs with like song plugs on there.
To listen to songs while he was hanging out in the hotel. Yeah.
I love it.
All about it. And so my granddad the Oak Ridge Boys were simultaneously recording a project, and so my granddad had been going through demos.
He goes through about 1,000 songs when they get ready to record a project.
That's not an exaggeration. He
narrows it down too.
He narrows down 40 songs, starting with about 1,000. And so anyways, he gave us some songs that he had been listening to. And he was like, well, here's the thing. I like these songs, but I don't think they're going to fit on my project. But I think you guys should check them out and see if there's anything on there you like.
Remember, he said, there's one song in there I think it's a hit, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want to see if you can spot it.
Oh, put you to the test.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And we listened to the CDs, and we heard this song called Caroline. And that was the one he was talking about. It spoke to us just like it spoke to him. Well, then fast forward about 2 weeks later, our producer, a fella named Greg Beek, here in Nashville, Tennessee, he's worked on a bunch of projects over the years. Worked with. He had the #1 record with Little Big Town. He wrote one of their hits. Yeah, that's right. He wrote one of Little Big Town's hits. He's worked with Mariah Carey and Jennifer Lopez, right?
Yeah,
back in the
Hall
day.
Notes still works with him.
Yeah, he was our producer on this project, and he sent us an email saying, "Hey guys, I got digging around on my hard drives and I found this song that has been kind of sitting here for a minute. Nobody's really picked it up, but man, I've always loved it, and I think you guys would just kill it on the harmonies." And it was the same demo of Caroline. Well then, it gets better. Then about a week after that, we got a call from a dear friend of ours, a song plugger downtown named Mighty Kim Jones, and she called us one day and said, "Y'all, I've got a couple of writers I represent down here in Nashville, and they've written this song called Caroline, and man, I think you guys would just kill it." And she said it's the same demo, the same song. I was like,
wow.
I think we need to record this.
I think
one.
there's a sign here.
Yeah, for sure.
Repeated instances lightly.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, that was the first one we did.
We did a video, and we released it in like the video came out Valentine's Day 2020.
Okay.
We were so excited. It was really built. We just got our new YouTube channel going.
We had it on. It was on CMT.
Yeah.
It was the views. The views were going up and up and up, and then the pandemic hit.
The plus of that, though, is all 4 of these kids just started writing and writing.
It made us recognize our passion even more so than before.
I know your background is in news. #1 station in South Carolina, correct?
Yeah. Well, been part of the state, yeah.
Throughout the pandemic, it allowed me and my brother to kind of open a recording studio business to where we're able to produce tracks for people. But I've actually been able to do a lot of news music work, all the way from local stations all the way up to one of the main national news networks that I am actually under NDA and cannot talk about, but a big one. Las Vegas's main. I forget what affiliate it is, but they're one of their main news stations out there. We're singing the theme song for it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I did some music for WGN in Chicago when they rebranded as News Nation.
That's my company.
Oh, well, there you go.
See?
No way.
Wow.
So you know the show Morning in America?
Mm-hmm.
I did a bumper for that.
Right. That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's fantastic.
Caroline about when did we release
2020.
20?
Yeah.
Well, we released it technically 2019, but basically 2020. And then a year later, we released another song of ours called "Feels Like This." And me and March actually wrote this with our producer Greg Beek and another great friend of ours, co-writer of Caroline. Yeah, his name's Greg Barnhill. And we wrote "Feels Like This." We were looking for a song that would really like capture like the summer feeling and just a really just like happy, good feeling song. You know
Windows
what I mean?
down,
Yeah.
arms out.
And the song of the summer. And so we just decided to go and write a song, and we wrote it and recorded it. And it was that song was doing really well too. We released that in like early 2021. So we kind of went a year with like having that song, and we were just very busy. We were like the beginning of this year, of 2022. We were like, you know what, let's get some more music out there. So we decided to then release Mountains Up Ahead, which y'all just heard a second ago. We released Mountains Up Ahead in February of this year. And it's been doing pretty good. And we also like we're always, like we were saying before, we're always constantly writing and making music and
creating TikToks and content as
Yes,
well.
That's what our main focus has been this year. Is like we
This
need
is like
to pay
social
attention
media.
to.
We do have like trying to get more songs that are about to come out, so stay tuned.
We've been writing a bunch that are already they're in the
Yes.
can, they're waiting to come out.
Yes.
Good. Well, in the description, they will know how to reach your website, how to find you on tour, to get all of the information when you release those new songs. So speaking of tours, where are you headed in the next couple of months?
Let me tell you.
We actually are really excited because we'll be, hitting it for the summer. We always get really busy when it gets to the summer months, and this year will be really fun because we're going to get to go out west and do some shows where we've not gotten to go before. So we'll be doing some shows in Idaho.
The last part of this year, I think for everybody, including Granddad, them, the rest of this year, it seems like people are opening up and really more open. For they want live performance. And
Yes, they do.
our year is, we're so thrilled about, we're already booked in the next year, and that's never happened before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Well-
we're getting to open for Lady A coming up here in July in Indiana, and we'll be playing in Wyoming and Idaho and Iowa, Kentucky, just kind of a lot of Florida dates coming up as well.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, that's
Pennsylvania.
and where else are we coming in the fall, in October?
South Carolina.
Carolina.
Liz,
We'll be
Texas.
Everybody
playing-
knows.
South Carolina State Fair. That's exciting.
Posted, so we'll be posting. Stay tuned on our website and bands in town. We'll have those posted.
Well, I think we could just spend all day together, but I know folks want to know, what is day-to-day life like for a family that lives together and works together and tours together and is together all the time? How do you make it happen?
It's really cool because I know a lot of people talk about like, I just don't understand how you guys get along so well. Like all my friends with siblings are like, oh my gosh, we literally all my friends like they talk about their siblings and they're like, oh my gosh, we argue like all the time, we don't get along. But with us it's like we do
hate each other.
We do.
I'm just kidding.
We take separate buses.
We argue because we're siblings, but we also like for fun, we'll literally all be like, hey, you want to go do stuff together?
They're kind of each other's best friends. It's always been that way. When the boys were 3 years apart, the girls are a year and a half apart. So close enough in age, they've always, had a lot in common.
Well, speaking of church, that's another thing that goes on. We all, volunteer.
So is it fair to say that your faith helps keep you, together and on common ground?
That's probably one
That's
of
like
the
the centerpiece of
the
it all.
most important piece that we couldn't do it without it. There's been a lot of stressful situations happen in our lives, as with anyone.
I mean, Nikki, in the line of work you've been in, you know what? You have to have tough skin, and there's so many beat downs. I mean, for every good thing that happens, I've always told the kids, ask Granddad. The Oaks have sold 43 million records. They're in the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. They've played for countless presidents. They've done all these great things. That's the plus column. Now ask Granddad about that minus column because it's a lot longer. But he just keeps plugging along. So you have to have some sort of anchor, some sort of foundation to go keep your spirit up.
Faith definitely helps a lot. I think it also teaches you that forgiveness is super important because siblings are ruthless when it comes to comments. We've said some pretty mean stuff, and I think forgiveness is super important because it helps you get over it, and we're still best friends no matter what has happened. So yeah, that's definitely
family is just all important.
Good advice.
It had to be very important to my mom and dad because it took an act of God to raise me from.
Honestly, I would say it took an act of God to raise all of us because we were all kind of
all creative.
Literally.
Thanks, Curtis.
At the end of the day, it's kind of like love. Love sometimes is, yes, the things you actually love about someone, but sometimes loving others is loving them in spite of things too,
Sure. Because you're never, ever going to see everything eye to eye, So you just got to learn to love each other right where they're at.
You guys are so smart. You have such great advice, and just to be able to talk to people and share your story today, I think gives us all hope that we can learn how to all get along a little better, show some grace, show some forgiveness, and find the things that are similar with us. Find that common ground rather than all the time looking for things that divide us. Y'all do a really good job of working together, and I think that's just a true testimony to your family and to your parents and to the Lord above that has really just set you on a path for such success. And it's been a real treat to talk to you today. Thank you so much for giving me your time because I know you're very busy.
This has been so much fun. This is
great to talk with you. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
I would love that. And I would love that. So I want to let everyone know that to find your tour dates, they can go to your website, rocklandroad.com. And you also have a Facebook page, and all of that is in the description. So as we say goodbye, do you want to hum us out, or do you want to have some final thoughts or anything you'd like to share?
I thought you meant hummus, like the Mediterranean.
Oh, yeah. Hum us out or hum us out.
Well, do you want to end with a chorus of Caroline? Or let's do
Huh?
it feels like this.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Do the last little chorus of that. That's yours, right? What's the matter with the feeling when you feel it and it feels like this? The sun is hanging on a blue sky ceiling and it just won't quit. No. Nothing better yet than being with the ones that you wanna be with.
Come on now.
What's the matter with the feeling when you feel it and it feels good like this? Oh.
Y'all are so good. I should just let you sing the whole time.
Just sing the answers to the questions.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, right.
we'll work on that.
Hey, I can make incidental music for your show.
Same here.
That's right.
Let's talk. Listen, I have just really enjoyed being with you today. Thank you so much for being a part of Conversations with Nicole.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You bet. And folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until I see you again, I hope you have a great day.